Good evening. Welcome to the Planning Board hearing for February 11, 2026. Will everybody please stand for the pledge? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Just housekeeping matters. If you're here to make a presentation on behalf of an application, I guess I'll just say to you directly, Mr. Kennedy, please keep it to 30 minutes or less if you can. If you're a member of the community who likes to be heard on the application, there are yellow cards in the back. Please fill one out, and we'll call you up during that application to speak. If you're here for item number 2 on the agenda, Planning Board application, public hearing, Ben Compton, PB 2026-002, that will not be heard this evening. We'll adjourn that one to our next meeting, which is February 25th. I'm getting ahead of myself. February 25th. So the first item on the agenda, Town Board application, public hearing, National Grid USA Service Company, Inc., CZ 2025-025, northwest side of Islip Avenue, State Route 111, and Alcor Street, Brentwood, 1650 Islip Avenue. Applicant requests a change of zone from Business 3 and Residence B to All Industrial 1. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. For the applicant, Brian Kennedy. I'm a partner with Forcelli Deegan Tirana. Office is at 100 Motor Parkway, Hauppauge, New York. The applicant is here today to unify the zoning at an existing National Grid facility. The subject property is split zoned, as the chairman mentioned, with portions of the site zoned Residence B, Business 1, Business 3, and Industrial 1. The vast majority of the property is zoned Industrial 1, and the applicant is seeking to rezone the entire site as Industrial 1. There's frontage along Islip Avenue, Alcor Street, and Grand Boulevard. The frontage along Islip Avenue includes the only public parking lot on the site. The landscaping in that area, that is all zoned Business 1. The frontage along Alcor Street includes the parking lot and landscaping that is on Residence B, and there is a small rectangular section along the frontage on Grand Avenue on the west side of the site that is zoned Business 3. Abutting the property on the north are the Long Island Railroad train tracks, which are zoned Industrial 1. There are several commercial uses to the north, east, and west of the subject property. South of the subject property are single-family residential zones. Now, National Grid has operated at the subject property for several decades. This property is utilized by both National Grid and PSEG for gas and electrical operations, maintenance of vehicles, storage of response vehicles, and customer operations. Now, the 3 buildings that are located on the property are all located in portions of the site that are zoned Industrial 1. The building with frontage along Islip Avenue is open to the public, while the remaining 2 buildings are for employees only. They're located at the northeast corner of the property. Now, the parking lot on Islip Avenue that is adjacent to the publicly accessible building is utilized by members of the public relatively infrequently. There are roughly 260 full-time employees at this site, split between National Grid and PSEG Long Island. There are also 170 fleet vehicles that turn out of this site. They stay there, and when National Grid or PSEG employees need to utilize them for services, they'll leave to and from this facility. Like I said, while the site is open to the public, the number of customer visits to the site is dramatically reduced with the increase of online services. Most of those public visits are by appointment only. What else? The property requires 746 parking stalls. There are currently the plan before you proposes 792 stalls. Currently, there are 821 stalls. After consulting with planning, they requested that we make some increases to the landscaping. That does have a negative impact on the National Grid and PSEG's ability to store vehicles, but they believe that they can make these accommodations based on the plan that's before you today. I do have Luis Monzon of Burns McDonald here, who prepared the site plan, if you guys would like to hear from him briefly about the plan he prepared.
Can I ask one question
Sure.
about the site plan? Why are the electrical transformers on the residential side? Can they be moved to somewhere else on the property? I'm just looking at them in the corner over here, and it's,
Come on. You just have to give him a
My name is Mark Scurry. I'm foreman for the site plan.
this is reversed.
Transformers could be held in stores. That would be in the building that's inside the complex, which is on the northwest corner.
Yeah. Before you go any further, I have to turn the site plan around. I thought the north was the north, and it's not the north.
That's
So if I
the
turn it
corner.
long ways,
Thank you, Mark.
that answers the
Perfect.
question when you said that, so. Yes, so that answers my question. Is there any other questions right now for them? So why don't we see, does anybody here wish to be heard on this application? Not seeing anyone, why don't we go to Mr. Colgan for a staff
Sure.
report, and then we'll come back with questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. This application proposes to unify the industrial zoning district for a storage and operation center for National Grid and PSEG Long Island. Prior to this, the property was the subject of a change of zone to Business 3 for the western portion of the property in order to operate a compressed natural gas service station back in 1997. The historical use of the site would remain unchanged. The board could give consideration to prohibiting construction and/or storage in the residentially zoned portion of the property via covenant, which I believe is roughly the southern 130 feet, so the southernmost portion of the property. In addition, the vegetation along Alkier Street is sparse along the lower canopy, and it is not effectively screening the yard from the residences on the south side of that street. The board and applicant should consider infilling this area as a buffer and possibly land banking parking stalls along the stretch to improve the existing conditions for the benefit of those residences. So a little bit to the board, how you want to proceed, if we can work this out with the applicant or, obtain a landscaping plan down the line. But again, because the site of the use of the site is not changing, staff really has no objection to the request, provided the conditions do get improved for those residences.
And Mr. Colgan, in response to those comments, I've consulted with my client. They have no issue increasing the landscaping as requested and preventing any storage or construction in that portion that is residentially zoned currently.
Just one other question, is there any reason that you can't, do you need the parking spaces, or can you land bank those along Alkier Street?
They already need all
They
of the
need it, so
parking.
they need
It was our preferred
Yep.
path forward to keep it as is. We've sacrificed almost 80 stalls.
Okay. I have no further questions. Anything else from the board? Anything you want to add?
Thanks for hearing me first.
Is there a motion? To approve, subject to working out the conditions with town.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing and to grant the application, subject to the CNRs being worked out with planning staff.
There's a motion by Mr. Brown to close the public hearing and grant the application, subject to the CNRs being agreed to with the planning staff. Is there a second? Mr. Robinson, all in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? The application is granted.
Thank you, guys. Have a great night.
And being no further business, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
By Mr. Brown, second by Ms. Ryan, all in favor, opposed, abstentions, we're adjourned. Thank you.